Today I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot and fix a Bobcat keyless controller panel that was sent in for having faulty buttons. This one has part number 6691431 and works with the Compact Excavators model 328, 329, 334, 335, 341, and 428. So let's test the buttons. When I press the enter code and enter my code, everything seems to be working. Let me check my lights. My lights are turning on and off. Hours, jobs, RPMs. If I hold for codes, it looks like that's working. So the auxiliary hydraulic, I don't have any systems plugged in, so that's gonna look like it's not doing anything, but we'll check on that internally in a minute. So we'll disconnect our connectors. We'll remove the screws on the perimeter. The back panel should lift off. I have placed this alligator clip on one of the ground pins. I am going to be in DC mode to do a voltage check. Our unit is turned on. So my first pin here is my 12 volts going in, second is ground, and my third is my auxiliary hydraulic. So if I press the button, I should be getting 12 volts, but I'm not. I'm getting 0.4, 0.5 volts. So that does actually confirm that their auxiliary hydraulic button is not working properly. So let's go ahead and replace those buttons for them. All right, so to do that, we're going to remove the existing buttons. We'll disconnect the big one over here. Let's remove the controller circuit board. And for the removal, what we're gonna do is use some hot air, just a little bit of heat, and we're gonna wanna loosen up the adhesive between the buttons and the front plate of the controller panel. The hot air I'm using is currently blowing air at 100 degrees Celsius, which is fairly hot, but not as hot as most heat guns, because we also don't want to melt the plastic. And I'm going to use an X-Acto blade to try and get underneath. Just going to go around the perimeter here. Let's see if we can start prying that off. There we go, so we got the front sticker, and then below is our actual buttons. There we go. Now, the buttons do have a solid plastic tab on them, and everything's cooled down, so we're gonna reheat a little bit here, and we're gonna wanna separate the buttons from that plastic tab, because we're gonna wanna reuse it for our replacement buttons, which are right here. So this was the originals. We have new ones that we got remanufactured. And let's see here. We're gonna want to line up our replacement plastic support as best as we can. All right, just like that. Beautiful. And then remove our paper covering the adhesive. I still have a little bit of adhesive here from the prior set of buttons. So I'm gonna use isopropyl alcohol and a Q-tip. We're just gonna do a quick cleanup because we wanna make sure we have a very flat and flush surface for the replacement buttons. Otherwise, they won't fit properly in the space and could create a loose seal. So that looks a lot better. Let's go ahead and feed the buttons through. And we're really going to want to make sure these are lined up right. It's a little bit tough, but we want to slide them in all the way. And I got a little bit of adhesive on the top of the new button, so let's clean that up a little bit. And that looks like it's centered, and we have a good seal. It's not overlapping. My buttons feel good and sturdy. Perfect. Plug it in. Let's see, we still have our 12 volts. This is our ground, and this is the auxiliary button. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. And look at that, we have 12 volts now. I'm gonna unpress it, press it, 12 volts, unpress it, press it. Okay, it looks like the replacement buttons have actually fixed the issue. Now, as a precaution, we're also going to replace the 9-button assembly. Something I want to point out is our replacement buttons won't have the backlighting here. So the customer did say they don't care that there is a backlight. They don't really use that anyways, so that's okay for them. We'll proceed with the same process. Let's disassemble the new buttons we just installed, remove the light, and the 9-button. We're going to go ahead and follow the exact same process. We're going to start by preheating the area. So that first layer, I believe, is our lights. Okay, and they are also ground. Separate the plastic layer from the buttons. We're going to want to try and line this up exactly as it is. And I just made a bit of a mistake, so let's see, can we push it over a little bit? Okay, it looks like I was able to adjust it just a smidge, which is going to be good enough. Again, I still have a little bit of adhesive left over here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we want to get the bulk of it off so we have a more or less flush, flat surface for our replacement buttons. We're going to go ahead and feed the replacement buttons through. And same thing, we're going to want to make sure we are lining them up perfectly. Oh, they just shifted. Okay, there we go. Put a little pressure on all corners. Beautiful. We want to make sure that our replacement buttons are plugged in all the way 100%. If they're plugged in only this far, they may not be making good contact, so make sure to really plug them in all the way. Plastic should be touching plastic here. And one more thing is, these buttons, you can tell the plastic is warping a little bit outside of where the shell will be. So we're going to want to, when we put the shell back on, make sure we're not pinching that plastic, otherwise we're going to break our replacement buttons. One more time, but sideways so you can see. So I'm going to try and grab the plastic ribbon and then press down. And then we'll make sure on the other side as well. And there we go. If you would like to send in your Bobcat keyless controller panel for us to fix, we do offer flat rate services which come with a 1-year warranty. Those are available on our website, which I'll link in the description down below. I'll also have the buttons available for purchase if you'd like to get those. Otherwise, if you found the video helpful or useful, leave us a like, subscribe for more content, and thank you for watching.